You're listening to Big Sis Energy.
Welcome back to Big Sis Energy. I'm your host, Mackenzie.
And I'm your other host, Malia. And today we are at CurlyCon LA. We're so excited because we have two very special guests coming on. They are both curly girls.
Of course. Guys, CurlyCon LA. We are so excited to be here. For one, there's like a ton of panels and different curly girls speaking about different struggles that they've had throughout their curly hair journeys.
Yes, and as you guys know, we've gone through the whole thing. I mean, in high school, I used to straighten, damaged my hair, so we fried it off, but now we're embracing them, and it's cool to be surrounded by a ton of girls that also embrace their curls as well, so I'm excited to interview everyone.
I know, last night we went to the pre-CurlyCon dinner, so it was all the creators, all the girlies, and I mean, you look to your left, you look to your right, there's curly girls everywhere, different textures, different types, and I was just like, my inner child was healed, low-key.
I was in awe because I've never seen that many curly girls in one room and so many different textures, different styles. It was incredible. Like my jaw was on the floor. I was like, oh my gosh.
So nonetheless, we're very excited for today. We are going to be interviewing a curly hair stylist. Get the tips, tricks, and the actual facts from her. So I'm super excited for that.
And we also have a girly from Too Hot to Handle season 5. So stay tuned for that. And we're excited to get into this.
Let's get right into it. All right, y'all, to kick off this very special episode, we have Felicia, also known as Hi Felicia.
Hello.
And she is a curly hair stylist, and she's in the building, rocking the curls.
Yes.
I also saw that it was a curlmatologist. That's what you call yourself.
Yes, curlmatologist.
I love that.
Thank you. I did that because when I took cosmetology classes, the chapter for curly hair was like this big, and I was just like, oh, no, I'm going to change that. So
Tell me why that's the first topic of today.
Yes.
I
keep hearing that because every time someone says they go to cosmetology school, they don't teach about curly hair.
Yeah, they don't. So in cosmetology school, unfortunately, you're basically taught on how to change the curl. Okay. So either straighten it, loosen it, manage it better. And to me, that's just not how curls are supposed to be treated. So I basically just did what I had to do to get through cosmetology. And then the minute I got my license, I was just like, yeah, forget everything you guys try to tell me. And then I started doing my own thing. But it's really hard for someone who doesn't know curly hair. And so that is why I am hoping to one day be able to kind of change that and maybe add an extra chapter in or completely rewrite the book on how to manage curls.
Rewrite the book.
That's so
I feel like there should be a full year for curly hair.
I know, because there's so many different types and textures.
There's so many. I describe it as a language, like understanding how the curls talk to us. So if you just kind of listen to the curls, but not everyone knows how to, they kind of drown out what the curls are trying to say.
Yes.
So yes, I do feel like there has to be some type of class, a book, something that someone can do as like continued education after they learn the basics, because curly hair is not basic.
Like a master's program for curls.
Yes.
I like that.
Well, you're paving the way. That's awesome. Do you feel like you needed kind of experience to figure out how to do curly hair? Like, how was that?
Definitely it comes with experience. First, you have to be passionate about curls because some people get a little frustrated. I feel like curls do need time and it is kind of trial and error.
Right.
But for me, it's definitely getting to understand how curls feel. It's more of like a feel thing for me.
Okay.
And sometimes you can actually look at curls and kind of see what's going on. So it takes time to be able to understand that, and lots and lots of trial and error.
Like you said though, trial and error, I feel like that's how Malia and I learned how to do our curls.
Yeah.
Yes.
We would watch the same YouTube videos and it would work for me, it wouldn't work for Malia, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, why are we using the same exact products but not getting the same result? And it's because even though we're sisters, we don't have the same hair. It's different and I tell that to people who watch our videos who are trying to copy like our curly hair routine. It might work for you, but it might not.
It might not. You might have to modify it to make it work for you.
Exactly.
Yes, and it's funny that you said that though. I wanted the twins. There are actually twins, like identical twins. Even their curls will need different routines and different products just because
that's crazy.
I have yet to find two exact curl types.
Really?
That's so cool.
Yeah,
though.
everybody's hair, it's either the texture is the same, the definition is the same, but then when you feel it, the porosity is different or the density is different. There's always something, and it might seem small to someone who doesn't understand curly hair, but that little factor, it can change like the whole routine.
How long have you been a stylist for?
So I actually just started taking clients in January
of
this year.
Hey.
Well, congrats. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
I've had my cosmetology license for 3 years.
Okay.
But I was a little nervous to take clients at first. But also I wanted to make sure, even though I knew curly hair, cutting curly hair was something that I wasn't quite familiar with. So I wanted to take like a little bit of time to get the continued education for myself and then apply it. But I've started off doing the videos and tutorials, and I started doing videos for curly hair after my sister's accident, because she was like the one that got me embracing my curls.
Way.
And I had nobody to talk to about curls anymore. So I started sharing my journey and just like, as like a way to memorialize her, like to honor her and everything she did for me, because she helped me with my curls.
Wait, how old is your sister?
She's 4 years older than me. She actually passed away in 2013 though.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but she is the reason why I am here. But I would not be like where I am today if it wasn't for her, because the way she made me feel when she did my hair for the first time, and I was like, oh, what is this? My hair's not wavy.
Confidence.
Like, I have curls.
Yeah, I'm actually like so
confidence through curls. She wanted me to get my license. Like, she was going to school to be an esthetician, and she wanted me to have my license, because when we grew up, I always did hair, but it was braids. And I hate to say it, relaxers. I always try to straighten my hair because that's what I saw. And my sister was the one like, why are we doing, like, why? But we have curly hair, like we have beautiful curls. And so after she passed away, I kind of did it to kind of help heal. And then people just started reaching out like, I followed your steps. I did this and my hair looks so much better. And then I started having people send me their before and afters. And I was just like, what is happening?
Oh my
so
gosh.
So I've been doing it since 2014. I've been helping curlies like through videos. So I felt like the next step is to be able to help them hands-on.
Yes.
So getting my license was almost like, I feel like I just had to do it.
Destined.
Yeah. But I bet that's so rewarding too, like being able to help other people with their curls.
Goodness.
Like seeing those comments.
I have had clients that come in and they're in their 40s and 50s, and I do their hair, and like I see their emotions, like when they see themselves. Like, and to hear someone say, I have never seen my hair, and to know that they're not just saying that, like they mean that, it's insane to me. I'm just like, wow, this person has gone their entire life having to basically struggle and fight what they need to just embrace. And what it actually, like you were saying to me, it's an extension of us. And until you embrace your curls, you're not really fully embracing yourself.
I totally relate to that, because I feel like that's when I stepped into my own personal confidence, is when my hair was thriving.
Yes.
Was that similar? What was your curly hair journey like?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, I used to be so insecure, not just because of my hair. It was just because, you see in social, like on, the models with the straight hair, and it's just like, why is my hair not straight? Or like you see one little wave when your hair is straight and you're just like, oh my gosh. And so then you start to kind of like, why me? And then you start to feel not good enough.
Yeah.
And I will say that like when I started to embrace my curls, it helped me. I took better care of myself. And then I started to find myself feeling more confident, like actually like, just feeling good about myself. Like, oh, okay, I do got a little something. Whereas it used to be more so like, I just wish, this, I wish for that. So definitely I do feel like once we embrace it, it makes us feel so empowered.
It does.
I realized that because we used to straighten our hair for I think 4 or 5 years,
like since
straight.
middle school.
Yep.
And we didn't start our curly hair journey until I think our sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
But I remember once I started my curly hair journey and I fell in love with my curls, and I had that like once a year straighten. I would have my hair straight, and I'd be like, why can't I like move it around and shake it? Because I feel like that's what I do when I'm awkward. I'd be sitting there awkward and I'd be like shaking the curls.
Yep. It's
I'm
like,
like, dang it,
playing with the
I can't
curls.
do that anymore. And so I fell in love with my curls so much that I'm like, I don't even want to straighten my hair anymore.
Yes. It's like my little comfort blanket. Like, let's face it, whenever you're out and about, we automatically connect. So like if you're out somewhere and you're like feeling shy and alone, you see somebody with curly hair and you got those lock eyes and you're just like, oh, okay. Like,
I will go up to a random person in Target and be like, the curls.
She's like, I love your curls.
Exactly. And they're like, oh my God, I was just looking at yours. And it's just like, yep.
It's an admiration.
It is.
It's
like
real magic.
Like a little curly community, and we're all connected with our, the way curls clump, like we clump.
Did you grow up in an area that had a lot of people with curly hair, did you feel like?
Yes, actually. So I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I would say we're actually predominant. It's more like it's a largely like a minority community.
Okay.
And there's a lot of like, you see a lot of the mixed kids, and then the moms who are struggling because they have a child whose hair is nothing like theirs.
Right.
Okay.
That is what I see the most of, especially with the military base, because it's bringing in like the soldiers. They travel around the world, and you're getting all these crazy mixes and all these amazing curls, and nobody in the family knows what to do. Even if it's a side of the family that does have curls, it might not be that curl type.
Right.
And so they're completely lost.
Yeah.
So definitely, I will say like we all kind of went through, like where I grew up, we all kind of went through it together. Like we all went through our straightening our hair, relaxing it, and then okay, I'm gonna try to figure this out. And now it's like you go to the store, you just see curls everywhere. I love it.
So it's like a whole little journey for all of you guys.
Yes.
That's so cool. I wish we had that because we grew up in a like predominantly white area. So I was always kind of comparing myself to the other people. I never saw curls. So I was like, oh,
yeah.
I thought of myself as different and different as bad.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I'm just going to straighten my hair and not deal with my curls because I didn't even know how to do it either. So there was both of those things.
Yeah.
And that kind of played a toll into not wanting to embrace my curls.
Nope. I see that a lot with my curly kid clients. Like their moms will bring them in and they'll be sitting in the chair kind of like timid and quiet. And their mom will be like, well, she wanted to straighten it because all her friends straighten it. And I'm like, so you want to be like all of your friends? You don't want to be unique? You don't want to stand out and you have your own crown? Like your friends don't have a crown. They have to go buy a crown. And your crown is right here. And then they're like, oh, okay. And by the end of the appointment, all of my little curlies, like Mom, I can't wait to go to school. I had the one, so I'll never forget. She looked in the mirror and she was like, I feel so confident. And it was just so beautiful.
That's so cute.
Yes, it was beautiful.
I bet as a hairstylist too, just like seeing people's like transformation and then like their face at the end.
It's my favorite. Like some people try to peek, but I try to get them to not peek because I want to have the big reveal. But like I'll see them, they'll be like this, and they'll be like, just looking at like one little curl. Cute. But it's amazing to see that light bulb go off. And I remember how it was for me when the light bulb went off for me.
Yeah.
So like to know that I just helped that person on a whole new chapter in their life. Like sometimes I'm on my way home and like I get super cheesy and I'm just like, God, like thank you. And like literally I tear up just because I'm just like, wow. Like I know that her life has changed forever.
Yes. And that's the start of her curly hair journey.
That's amazing.
I love it.
You know what's funny though? That actually kind of happened to Malia and I. Our mom had like a hairstylist that she went to for years and we went in there asking for a haircut, but our hair was straight. And she's like, mark my words, you're gonna come back here with curly hair. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, girl, please. Like, I have my straight hair. I like my straight hair. I look good with straight hair. No. 4 years later, I mean, it took a minute.
It did take a minute.
4 years.
It takes some embracing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I waltzed in there with the curls and I was like, can I have a curly cut? She's like, I knew it.
She's
I
like,
knew
yep,
you'd be back.
I know.
I love that. Oh my goodness. I love it.
So what are your favorite products for like helping with heat damage? Because I feel like a lot of curly girls go through that.
Yes.
That straightening
heat damage.
phase.
Well, I will say right now, I have been a big K18 fan.
Yes. Me too.
Like I use it on all of my clients. It's actually I include it in my services automatically just because I just love what it does so fast.
Okay.
Because I feel like curlies, it's kind of like working out. Sometimes it's like you don't see the instant results, so you're like, eh. And I feel like curlies are like that too.
Yeah.
So it's like the faster they can see some type of change, it gives them like that encouragement to keep on going. And so I love some K18. Olaplex number 3 is really good too, but it does take a little bit more time.
Okay.
Briogeo Don't Despair Repair.
Yes, ma'am.
That mask, like that is my go-to mask. If somebody has like heat damage, but then they also need that extra moisture, then I'll pair it with the kiwi avocado mask and like just mix them both together.
The superfoods, that one is so good.
Oh my god,
that's a game changer.
It's hard to not just want to eat it sometimes because it's like ice cream. It's like sherbet. It reminds me of sherbet.
Yeah, I was like, it smells so good. Yeah.
Why do all their products smell
amazing?
I know. I'm like,
amazing.
Too good.
But it's the fact that it melts into their hair, and I love that the Don't Despair Repair mask. Like all my clients, I can use it for wavy hair. You know. Textures like mine, tighter, super curly, 4C, I can use it across the board, and I love it.
You know what's interesting that we kind of learned about Briogeo, because we just partnered with them, which was...
I saw that.
That was insane.
I love that.
Seeing, like, talking with different curly girls about Briogeo, they didn't know that they were for all different hair types, because I've seen a lot of my girlfriends with straight hair rave about Briogeo, the scalp revival, the Don't Despair Repair mask. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I'll try it. And then I started using it.
Wow.
And our followers didn't know that it was for the curly girls. I'm like, y'all need to hop on this because any hair type. I'm talking 4C, like you said, wavy, straight, like they got you covered.
That's what I love about it.
And I love that the ingredients are still safe. Like you don't
have
have to worry about.
Clean.
I just love it. I love it.
And they're inclusive with any type of hair, which is like, you don't normally see that. Usually they have like one brand for like just curls or like, you know.
Usually brands kind of have like that one curl texture that they work the best on.
Right. Yeah.
And that is, I'm telling you, Briogeo is I can't keep it on my shelves. And then my clients that come in with like scalp issues, I love that Briogeo has the medicated shampoo, but it's like medicated shampoos aren't really made for curlies. So a lot of my clients will come in and they're like, well, I've been using this medicated shampoo that the dermatologist told me, but the hair feels like straw. And I love that Briogeo has that shampoo that can actually take care of the scalp, but leaves their hair hydrated still.
Yes.
Too, so,
Yes.
But like you said, though, the K18, that was a big part of my curly hair journey. Like K18, I loved K18. I feel like the past the past 2 years of my curly hair journey, I really started using that more.
Yeah.
And it's a 6-week journey. So it's once a week for 6 weeks, right?
Yes.
Right.
But,
yeah.
but most people do notice like a difference first day. Because it can actually help. I think it takes your hair back to like 91% of its virgin elasticity in one use. And sometimes I really do see like such a big difference, especially my clients that come in and they're like, they have like the curls at the root, but then there's really bad heat damage on the ends. And it's like they need to take it a lot off, but they're a little scared.
Yeah.
So it allows me, K18 lets me leave them that length that they want without them still having the straight ends. So then I'm able to like really blend everything together. And I feel like I would not be able to do that without K18.
Yes.
Definitely.
And it's so good for after dyeing too. Because after I dyed my hair, I went a little bit more blonder. It's like, it's been a lifesaver.
Yes. For me, it helps with the blonde. I had a little situation with a certain hair care brand that damaged my hair really bad and I had to heal from it.
Wow.
And I stopped using them in 2019 and my hair, like even though I got all the cuts and I started cutting my hair and was doing all the treatments and detoxing, I still felt like my hair just wasn't like what it used to be. And I feel like K18, when I finally used it, because I had been seeing it and the directions were a little weird for me. Like, oh, the way these curls are set up, I need some conditioner. But I'm a hair nerd, so I reached out to them. And I was like, listen, I want to use your product, but I need conditioner. And when I found out you can use conditioner after it, as long as you wait that 4 minutes, I was just like, give it to me.
Yes.
So after I did that, I literally like looked at my videos and I saw the difference in my hair. And I swear by it.
Next, we have a little game.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called Fact or Cap.
Okay.
Fact or Cap. Applying styling products in specific order, like gel before cream, it significantly impacts curl definition.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Definitely.
Yes.
And just like you were saying earlier, though, everything is different for each curl type. So just because, one of us uses a leave-in and a gel doesn't mean that you can't use a gel and then a leave-in if that's what works for you.
Right. So for you, what is your kind of like go-to routine or like the way you use the product?
I actually used to be like super like, oh, I need a leave-in and then I need a defining cream and then I need a gel. Like that used to be me. But now I'm more so like, put the hydration in while I'm cleansing and conditioning. And then I'll use like a very small amount of a leave-in and like a mousse and a gel, or I'll just use a gel sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, to just lock the hydration in. And then that really gives me my volume.
I'm taking notes over here.
I know.
When I go back and edit this, I'm gonna be like,
when I want extra volume.
Next, fact or cap.
Okay.
Cutting your hair frequently makes it grow faster.
Cap. And it's like, yes, you need cuts to get your hair to grow, but it doesn't have to be frequently. I always say, listen to your curls and listen to the signs. So if you start to notice that your hair isn't as curly and your ends are going a little limp, then it's time. Your ends are saying, hey, listen, either you go ahead and cut me off or I'm gonna break off. So you either decide, you get a cut and let it be controlled, or you let your hair cut itself. And we all know about shedding when we're in the shower.
Yes.
If the shedding gets too intense, then it's time.
Okay.
But the whole every 3 months, you don't always have to do it. It's every 3 to 6 months as needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I feel like I'm in need for a cut. After I take these braids out,
it's always after the
really
braids.
Your
on
hair
the protective.
will definitely let you know.
Yes, for sure.
I think it's about time.
Yeah.
I can never decide if I want to do like a bob with more volume or keep the curls growing, because I had a little short layered cut for a minute.
Okay.
And I
So
thought
cute.
it was really cute, but then I always see the girls with the long hair. I'm like,
Have
I
you heard
can't
of the
decide.
Kato cut though?
Wait, what?
Then it's called the Kato cut by Rima.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, so there's this lady on Instagram. Her name is Hair by Rima. I actually went to Canada and got certified by her.
Really?
Oh my
She has this whole cutting technique, because the reason why I love it is, so Kato means cascading. And that's what we want. We want our curls to cascade. We don't want shelves.
Right.
We don't want gaps. I love it because her technique can kind of be modified and customized per client. So it allows you to create that shape, but keep the length. Have length and have your volume without having gaps.
Don't make me fly to
I'm
North
talking-
Carolina to come book a
love
session
some
with you.
voluminous curls. I know.
I'm telling you, that's what I plan on doing. I plan on growing my hair out, but then just keeping my volume by adding lots of layers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The next one is curly hair is more prone to retaining moisture.
What type, what porosity. That's like fact and cap.
Okay, kind of in the middle.
Certain porosities
Okay.
can keep more moisture, but curly hair is naturally drier.
Okay.
So you have to like lock that hydration in the shower. But as long as you treat your hair accordingly, so if your hair is low porosity, then follow low porosity tips. So that means you might need some heat to help to get that moisture in, because your cuticles are literally sealed.
Right.
So you want to use something to kind of lift and get it in. If your hair is high porosity, like mine ears, because we have blonde, so it's definitely got the high porosity. That means that yes, moisture is going in easily, but you're also going to lose moisture. So it's like once you get that moisture in, make sure you're using something to seal it in, and your hair will kind of hold on to it.
Okay. Yeah, because I've definitely noticed that with the blonde, like retaining moisture is a little bit harder.
Yes,
but I just have to add a lot more.
Yeah, so after you're done styling, I would say when your hair is about 85% dry, scrunch your ends with a little bit of oil.
Okay.
That'll seal it in and keep your hair from like losing too much more of that hydration and that moisture.
I'm like, noted. Okay.
So for some of the girls who maybe don't know if they have low or high porosity, how do you kind of figure that out?
I actually have a video on my YouTube on how to do it, because I'm not gonna say I don't believe in the strand test, like where you drop it, but that is really hard to do. Because it's just like, is this a clean enough strand? And then it's like, is it sinking? Is it floating? My hair is kind of long. So I say when you have like some free time, cleanse your hair, let it air dry, and then you get a water bottle and mist it over your hair and let it like make little beads. And then kind of judge by how long the beads take. So if the beads sit on your hair and they don't go in, you have low porosity. If they sit and then they go in, then you have medium porosity. And if they almost immediately disappear, then your hair is high porosity.
Okay.
Yeah, and to me, that's like way easier to figure out.
Okay. I'm sure the girlies want to know. That way they can curate their...
Porosity does matter. It really does play a role. Like, it's not like the end all be all, but it does make a difference when you're choosing like how to go in order with your products, or like, should I use the oil? Should I not use the oil? So,
perfect. I'm getting so many tips.
I know.
Last factor cap. Brushing curly hair while dry causes breakage.
Fact.
Yep.
Very, very fact. Very, very fact.
Like, period.
Yeah. When I see the videos of like curlies wanting to brush their hair out because they wanted to see how big it gets, I'm just like, oh baby, please follow up with a deep conditioner, some K18, please. Please.
You're like, not for the TikTok.
I
Breakage
hear
is...
the curls like screaming.
Oh my gosh.
Or like when my clients come in, like I ask them to have their hair kind of pre-detangled, because it's like while I'm cutting your hair, I don't want to be like ripping through tangles and creating damage. But like if I do have to like kind of detangle it, if I like hit a tangle, I'm like, oh, sorry. And they're like, oh, I didn't even feel that. I'm like, oh, sorry, I was talking to your curls. Like, that was to your curls.
Well, that's all we have for today.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was like, that was so quick.
Like, I just feel like that was so easy. You guys made it easy, even though I kept hitting my mic.
Oh, hey, I did that one time, and it like,
I'm like, you just forget that it's there. I talk with my hands. Yes, I feel that.
No, that was so fun.
Thank you so much, Felicia. Is there anything you want to plug? You want to shout out the socials?
Okay. So my Instagram is Hi Felicia. That's HIF3. Because LICIA, but I also have a hair page now that I share all of my clients on. So that's Hair by Hi Felicia.
Okay.
Yes, guys, go check her out. She's very informative. I've done a lot of scrolling on your page. So
yes,
you're killing it.
Yeah,
you're
after
killing
I met that bounce curl event, like not too in this summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that
I
was
learned
really fun,
some
though.
things from your page.
I know.
That's all I have to say.
Yes.
And if y'all didn't learn anything from this podcast, I know you did. I know you did.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Thank you so much.
I love the education part of curls. So thank you.
All right, you guys, we are back on Big Sis Energy, and today we have a very special guest, Christine. You may have seen her on Too Hot to Handle season 5.
You may have.
You definitely did. Like, I watched you.
When you walked in the room, I was like, I know you said 6'1", but like,
oh yeah,
you're a baddie.
A tall queen.
She said
a
too
tall
hot to
queen.
handle. She said too hot to handle, like anybody to handle. Okay.
Well, welcome.
I'm like, not me sweating over here.
I'm sorry.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. We're so excited to talk to you, chit chat.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Of course. I'm like, we got a little bit of everything today. We have like 20 minutes, so we don't have a lot of time, but we're gonna pack it in. Get into
I'll
it.
speed up in my talk. I'll talk a little faster.
Talk about curls. Talk about Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
What was the audition process like? Because obviously for Too Hot to Handle, you don't know you're gonna see Miss Lana, right?
Yeah.
So what was that like?
I didn't. Okay, so mine is actually different compared to everybody else who was on the show.
Okay.
So for me, it was during COVID where I started getting involved in watching like dating shows.
Okay.
And so at that point, I had applied to be a part of Love Island.
Oh.
And so I was in a process for that. And then they just last minute decided to like change directions. So I was like so bummed because I wanted to do it to, elevate my modeling career.
Right.
And it just didn't work. And I was just like, okay, like what now? So then I was like in this casting portal. So there was this guy who would just email me with like different shows and stuff. And so I got like this casting thing for Wild Love. And I was just like, what is this? So I was like, I'm not doing this. So then a couple months go down, and my cousin is the one that like encouraged me to do Love Island and just be on TV, because she was like, you're a big personality, like you need to be on TV. And so at the time I was like, okay, let me take social media serious. So I went to her house to kind of film this one small brand deal that I got. And then I told her about the email that I received, and she's like, I think you should apply for that. And I was like, I don't think so.
You're like, I ain't never heard of this.
And so she was like, I'm gonna leave the room right now and I need you to apply right now. She was like, what if this is too hot to handle? So then we started doing like details, and we connected Fremantle to the page and like who followed. So I was like, okay.
Ooh,
so then
FBI agent.
So then fast forward. So I applied for Wild Love. And then so fast forward, when I'm there in Turks and Caicos, just because you're out there doesn't mean that you got it. They can still fly you back and be like, you're done.
Oh, damn.
So then I was meeting with the execs, and our contract said like, you know, Wild Love or whatever name it would be changed to, like you adhere to like the regulations. So I was like, too hot to handle.
You're like,
but
whatever.
then when we get there, they're like, oh no, we're changing the name of the show to Love Overboard. So I was like, I'm on the wrong show. I was like, what did I get myself into?
Oh,
so I was just like, okay, Love Overboard. So then obviously I get on the boat and I'm like, okay, this is definitely not too hot to handle. So at that moment, I was completely convinced that I was on Love Overboard, just because everything that I thought was supposed to happen didn't happen. So it was just like,
my gosh.
Caught me off guard.
Dang. So when you saw
crazy, though.
Lana, what's going through your head? Like, what's your first reaction?
I was shocked. I was shocked because I was like, what came to my head immediately was like, am I really on Netflix right now? Like, is this me? I watched these reactions. Now here I am reacting.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was such a surreal like experience. Like, I still couldn't believe I was there like 3 days in.
I'm sure the experience was cool though, just like going through the whole show and everything.
I actually enjoyed it. I do miss like waking up on set and just seeing everybody. You would think sleeping with like 14 people in a room is just like annoying. I loved it. Like, it was so much fun. Like, I enjoyed it. It's like an experience that you can't really relate to others about, but that's like a community that I can like relate with.
Yeah.
So no, I enjoyed it.
Are you still close with everybody? Because you guys are very like tight knit on the show, you know?
Yeah. I wouldn't say everybody I'm close to. I do have people that I'm like super close to, like Hannah I'm close to. I'm close to Elise. I talk to Megan, Courtney. So there are, you know, people that I still do talk to. Everybody does, you know, have their own life. So eventually everybody kind of moves on from the show into their next path in their career. But for the most part, I'm good with the majority of the people.
So you said you're a model too. How was it like getting into that? Like, when did you start modeling?
So modeling actually has been a lot harder, and you would think like the amount of reactions I get, it's like, oh, you're definitely a model. It's been a lot harder than it's supposed to be. Started modeling in 2014, 2015.
Okay.
So I was going through like a really deep depression stage. And so I wouldn't get out of my bed. And like in 2014, I wouldn't get out of bed. I was super depressed. My mom didn't like see me like that. So she just started applying me to modeling agencies.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we never spoke about modeling, but she just felt like that would be something that would just make me happy and like look forward to just, you know, waking up every day.
Yeah.
So she started sending me off to like modeling agencies and would go to the castings with me. So I was signed to like a small agency in Houston at that moment. And then my dad's Nigerian, so I went to this like modeling convention in 2015, and they obviously didn't want me to continue to go to college to pursue the modeling career, but my dad's Nigerian and he's like, no, you're going to school. So modeling could come after that. So I eventually ended up going to college, took a little break from like modeling, and then I walked in Fashion Week my senior year in college. Yeah, my senior year. And that kind of influenced me to move to New York in 2019. But that was a journey of its own. That was the lowest point that I've ever been in my life. You would think while I'm chasing my career that I'd be the happiest.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I felt like I lost myself because of what the requirements were for modeling. So, for example, they needed me to be skinnier. So I would go places and they would tell me like, oh, you need to lose weight. So I went through an eating disorder while I lived out there.
gosh.
I wanted to be out there so bad. I was living in a model home. So I went to the club in exchange for free rent. So I was broke, went to the club when I just did not want to go to the club, lived with girls, and it could be very, very dirty. Got told no by so many modeling agencies, and a lot would say, oh, we already have your look. But at the time, I just felt like they weren't prioritizing Black women
Right. Yeah.
in their agencies.
Yeah.
They would say they have my look, but you just have a girl with my complexion, not my hair, not my face. Like,
And you're just like, huh?
I'm like, yeah.
Oh my god.
So then obviously COVID hit. I moved back to Texas. I went to Dallas for a little bit so I could model, like, so I could train with this model fitness trainer to lose weight, because that's how pressed I was on getting small.
wow.
Because this agency was like, I love you, but if you get your hips to this amount, like at that time they said at least 35, then we'll sign you.
That's
but
terrible.
my body does not allow me to get that small. So it got to the point where it's like, okay, so then, which is why I moved to LA. I went to the show to boost my career in modeling.
Right.
Then I came to LA and now they're telling me I'm too tall. I tried London and they're like, we like your look, but we just don't. So I've been told no by like 70 agencies. I'm still
Ruthless
like,
industry, for real, though.
going, like, I'm still figuring out like where my future holds with modeling. I just feel like maybe it's one of those things where maybe that's not what God has for me, and he has something different in path for me, and the modeling may come to the side, but that's probably not my priority in my career. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That is kind of a beautiful story though, because
Yeah.
you're such a confident person. Like
Yes.
from seeing on the show and how you handled yourself, very confident, like a firecracker. Like
Yes.
you were just on it, like so full of energy and life. How do you feel like that journey changed or like elevated your confidence? Like dealing with the modeling industry, maybe. Did that have anything to do with your confidence?
Oh yeah, a lot of my confidence comes from insecurity. Like you would think seeing me like, oh, she was just always been confident. I used to be very insecure. When I was in high school, I used to Google how to become shorter. I'd wear flats because if I wore sneakers, I'd be like an inch taller. I'd lie and say I was 5'11" because I just couldn't stomach being above 6 feet. So yeah, a lot of my confidence came from insecurities. So then eventually, I don't even know how it came about. It's like, I don't know. Just one day it's just like, okay, like you can't control how you are. So I just accepted how I am, and I realized I'm not gonna stop being tall. I might as well be loud and confident about it.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna rock with it. I mean, hey.
And you totally own it too.
Thank
totally
you.
do.
When you were on the show, dealing with your hair and like working with it, was that a struggle like on
Yeah.
set?
Yeah.
Because you have to do your own hair and makeup, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely,
She flew in with all the curly hair products. She said Turks and Caicos.
Oh my gosh, like a whole nother suitcase,
yeah,
right?
no, like literally, it was a struggle for one. I was not expecting the weather. Like, granted, I was coming from Houston at the time. I lived in Houston, so I was
Okay.
used to humidity and the sun. But
Right.
in Houston, we don't just sit around in the sun.
Like all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we had to. So my hair was a lot drier than normal. So I did face after like environmental damage to my hair because it was just too much heat, too much
Okay.
humidity. And then we didn't have a lot of time to get ready. I would say like less than 20 minutes hair, makeup, including maybe a little shower.
That's a little teardrop for the curly girls. Oh my gosh.
So I learned how to do everything fast. Like,
Wow.
Dang,
it
20
was,
minutes.
yeah, it was a lot. And then also then I had to like blow dry my hair to speed up the process of it drying, because when they're ready for you to go out on set, they're ready for you to go out. If I look like a wet dog, I'm gonna look like a wet dog out there. So I was like,
You're like, and this is television. This is Netflix.
yeah.
Oh my
And I would
God.
send the producers to like try to get me more products, and everything they would bring back, I'm like, it's not working for my hair.
Yeah.
It was a struggle. Honestly, like
gosh.
I felt hopeless with my hair out there.
Dang. I'm like, I would have tried to figure out how to learn how to do braids or something, but
I know.
I'm so bad at braids that I probably would have failed. If I just tried to like start braiding my hair randomly, I'd be like done for.
I just would have accepted the fact. I'm like, well, it is what it is. Like,
Well, you wouldn't even have time to like do no braids.
Oh, dang.
True.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause you said
You'd
have
have
20 minutes.
mid braid come out. Oh,
you have one done.
You're like, it's
and
time
then
to go.
when
It's
ready
time
to
to
go. Not even
Dang,
complete.
that's
Okay.
wild.
Yeah, because it's wake up, film, go to sleep. They literally show y'all sleeping. So
Yeah.
there's
That's
literally no
wild.
time
Yeah,
for yourself.
we're always like working
on the
so,
go.
yeah.
You didn't have any breaks at all.
You do have some breaks. whenever you're not filming, sometimes they will have like specific people filming, but the downtime is like not even really like downtime. It's kind of just like, okay, downtime is like lay down and tan, catch the sun, but they're filming that to put like in the middle of like transitions. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like B-roll footage. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, yeah,
The B-roll, or if there is like you're being supervised, or you can't walk around freely like you want to because you could be walking into something else that's getting filmed. So
So
like,
they're like
there's
sit
a lot of
there
rules
for 8
restrictions.
hours. That's your spot.
yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you feel like overall though, you like, did you take anything away from the show? Like, what was your kind of journey like after the show ended?
For me, I actually would say like Too Hot to Handle did change me. I have like a whole different like perspective on dating. So prior to that, I like gave up. I was on some I hate men, like on that mindset. And then I realized like the workshops, they work. They really work. Like obviously they cut a lot, but like during that women's workshop, I cried like boohoo tears because I kind of faced the reality of why I am the way I am, of feeling like I'm not good enough in a relationship, when the truth is I was giving the wrong men the chances.
Right.
And obviously me and Louis didn't work out, but being with him allowed me to realize that I can find somebody that I could be 100% comfortable with. I was never able to be comfortable with anybody that I have been with. I always felt like I had to act like I was this perfect girl, like not as goofy as I am, or whatever the case is. But now it has opened my eyes, like in dating, and now I have a man now, and I'm like completely comfortable, and I'm like, okay, like,
awesome.
Dating is so much better now. Yeah,
I feel like it's hard sometimes to have your guard down, and you kind of want that when you are dating, so that the person knows like fully what they're getting when you guys start a relationship, or when you're talking, or whatever it may be. But that's so true. I feel like sometimes we get in our head about, okay, well, maybe they won't like the goofy side of me, or like they want me to be like picture perfect all the time.
And you kind of like put on like a little front.
That ain't life.
And it's like also based off of their energy, because sometimes like you're just so like, and then you say a joke, like, you throw it in a little joke, and it's just like,
there's no judgmental.
Like, well, yes, sir.
That was the answer I needed. You won't be hearing back from me, sorry.
But now you're probably like, well, if you don't like me from the jump,
yeah,
or for whatever it is, like being goofy, like then you don't like me, you know? So,
but it's like, I don't, it's like easier said, but then like in your heart, you're just like, well, maybe I could change that. Maybe if we do this, he'll be more open to me. And it's like, you just make excuses, and the next thing you know, you're going months, years on with somebody that you know isn't for you.
Right.
Thinking you could change them.
That's pretty much it for today's episode. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Is there any like shout outs you want to do to your Instagram?
I mean, I do want to shout out all of my supporters. Since the show's come out, I did not expect, like, I don't know. It's like I could imagine what life was going to be like after the show, but seeing the amount of people, and especially the women that I've inspired since my show, it warms my heart. And so now it's kind of one of those things where it's like everything I do, I want to do it for women. I want to do it for insecure women. I want to do it for natural women. I want to do it for women who like are thinking negatively about their body, which is why I show off a lot of skin, because I may be skinny and people do comment like, oh, you need to eat this, and that, but I don't care. I don't believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like I'm happy to have like a support group that looks up to me and is inspired by me.
Oh,
that's so inspiring.
I love that. That's
like, girl, you're incredible.
Our podcast is all about, and that's why we love interviewing all different types of women, people's perspective, and telling people that it's okay to be you, first off.
Yes. And it's okay to embrace your natural self.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. I love that. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.